Alrighty, here we go. Coming in some large packaging, which we will try to get away from very quickly, is finally here, Masterpiece Soundwave, who is just absolutely incredible. Soundwave himself is very nice. Condor here / Laserbeak is probably one of the finest Transformers ever made, and I don't think I'm being facetious in saying that. Like, I almost want to buy another Soundwave just to get a Laserbeak that I can carry around in my pocket and keep one nice and with Soundwave, and then have Laserbeak that I can just carry around with me wherever I go, because he's that awesome. It's really like, and somebody else mentioned this too, like, I feel like I bought Laserbeak and Soundwave just happened to come with it. It really isn't. I mean, like, and that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but still, it is a very nice nice mold. So we'll go ahead real quick, and we'll just, out of the package. It's a standard Masterpiece packaging. It feels very light. Like, when I got to work, I opened this up, I picked this up, and I'm like, did I forget to put him in there? And as you can see here, he does hold G1 cassette. Crap, I forgot to grab a G1 cassette to bring with me to show off. But rest assured, G1 cassettes like Ravage and Rumble here, Frenzy, and as well as here's the Masterpiece Condor, do all fit inside of his chest. So, yeah. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get him out of here. He's in the plastic shell. Here's the instruction manual here. Let's bring this down a little bit. And he's in the plastic shell with all the accessories. So we'll go ahead real quick and just, as we open it up, show off the accessories. He comes with, now Amazon I guess comes with some extra ones. I wasn't expecting this, but he does come with an Energon cube. And it's just a clear plastic. Pull this down a little bit more. I'm used to working down here. A clear plastic Energon cube. This little cap comes off like that, and that allows it to plug into his chest to look like he's making it. And I think the Takara website has some papercraft. You can print a little pink piece of paper that folds up and slides inside the Energon cube to make it look like a filled Energon cube. So you can get that. He comes with a display grid, which again we'll get to in a little bit. He comes with his the little, it calls it a sensor, but the little scanner that attaches to his forearm, again, we'll show that off when we get to it. He comes with his gun / battery. He comes with a new version of the Megatron gun. It's very similar to the one that originally came with MP Prime. It has the same slidey gimmick. There's a hinge here on this that lets this, and a hinge down here, so instead of having to fold that out of the way, it lets that come, the stock back down here, get out of the way, so characters can hold it with less trouble. Instead of just making it hinge down like that, it has a second hinge, so it can fold back up, which is really nice. And again, we'll get to that in a minute. We get a cassette tape case that isn't a translucent pink to make it look like it's an Energon cube. This is one that I really wish they'd left this clear, but you can pretend that's an Energon cube. You get the amazing and fantastical, let's get him out of here, Condor. He comes packaged in cassette mode, and he can, as you might have guessed, fit inside the tape case, just like that. Dun, dun, dun. And then you get, in the tray, Soundwave himself, who is, as I mentioned, quite fantastic and very cool. So yeah, we'll get into all the accessories real quick, since he's already in robot mode. We'll go ahead and show him off next to some other Masterpiece figures, and it's really gonna be cool. So here he is with Sideswipe, Lambor, and he comes up to about a little above his waist, but they look good together. Here he is with Starscream. He's a little bit taller, which is more or less accurate to the show. I mean, arguing scale in the G1 cartoon is kind of, arguing with your grandma about whether that was borscht or diarrhea. It really doesn't make any sense. It's really not, and nobody comes out the winner. So there you go. But they look really good together. It's not a matter of who's supposed to be taller. They really do look nice together, and yeah. So I don't have a problem with that. Soundwave's taller, oh well. Boo-hoo. Cry me a river. I don't. If you have a problem with it. If you don't have a problem with it, then hey, guess what? We're still friends. Sorry. And here he is with Prime. And Prime is obviously just a wee bit taller than Soundwave. And again, look great together. I don't care about what the cartoon had him only half as high. I don't care. But yeah, so there he is. Instructions are just the regular old instruction manual. A little sheet about some tips. There's a brief history of sound waves on the back that show all the sound wave through the years. There's a tech spec card in here somewhere. It may be stuck in the middle of the there we go. You can kind of see it sticking out the bottom there. It is stuck up in the instructions there. But you get bio cards for Condor. And, well, let's go ahead and take it out. Why not? Oh, God. But yeah, bio cards for Condor and Soundwave. Very cool. The instruction book, this is a little, I don't know, something going on in Japan. Here's the directions on how to do his tapes if you have more than one in there, and we'll show that off as well. So yeah, the Buzzsaw and Rumble and Ravage and Frenzy, or however it's working, sets are coming for the cassettes. So we'll have 5 cassettes all told. Wait, yeah, 5 cassettes all told, and that's just what we know of. Instruction manual, how to do everything. Yay, yay, yay. Great, great, great. Now on the back here, there's some plans here. You can cut these out and stick these. This little grid here can plug into his chest like this. So he can do his little display plans. Let's get Prime out of the way here. We're done with you. Goodbye. So he can, display his little plans. And it comes with a couple little plans that are on the back of the instructions. In order to do it, you have to cut it out. I'm probably not going to use that function at all. It's a neat feature, but I'm not going to use it. Certainly not going to want it enough to cut the instructions. And I'm happily married, so I didn't feel like flirting with the Staples girl to get some photocopies. He's got his buttons here are pressable. Let's squeeze that in. And for anybody else, before anybody starts, I'm just poking fun. I'm not intending to start a fight, so let's not be all. Whoa. I was just goofing around about the Staples girl thing. So my point was, I didn't feel like going through the trouble of getting photocopies made, since it's something that I would only have done it to do it in the review. I don't think I will ever stick those in there. It's nice that they included it. Probably not going to use it. The Energon Cube, as I mentioned, sealed up, got a cap. You can put some pink paper in there. Like I said, Takara website has an actual printout that is designed to fold and fit perfectly in there. But you can plug this onto his chest to make it look like he's building the Energon Cubes. Wom, 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 wom. That's kind of cool. So yeah, and then on to he can hold Megatron. He's got posable fingers. Although again, it's like he's got a solid thumb. His bottom 3 fingers are all one piece, and only come out like that. And then his top finger opens up and has a movable forefinger. Just so you know. But yeah, you can put Megatron in his hand. I've got leader of Decepticons in my hand. I've got the leader of Decepticons in my hand. He's got the leader of Decepticons in his hand. He's got the Megatron in his hand. Alright, that joke went on longer than it should have. But aren't you glad I recognize that fact? But yeah, so there is the him holding the Megatron gun. It does, like I said, it does extend. You can have Optimus hold it or Starscream hold it. It's very similar to the one that originally came with MP Optimus, the MP-01, but with a few modifications to allow it to be held easier. You can, as before, take all of this off. You can pull the stock off and just go up or down. I don't want to break it. There we go. Slides up, so you can have just the pistol again. So there's that. Dun, 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 dun. Put it back together, and there he goes. And then, okay, so on to the thing. He's got his his battery gun. This gun is actually built in up here. You can hinge it back. You can, if you don't want him to have it up, you can fold it down. It's just on a little hinge here, and again, that's part of the transformation process as well. So it sits here. You can have it angled up, down, to the side, however you want to do it. His handgun, you open up like this, and it's a little tricky at first to get this. You got to flip this handle out, and just getting the right leverage on it. The instructions make it look like it's just easy to just go wink, and there it is, and it's really not. Sometimes you have to get a screwdriver or something to pry it up. Oh, there we go, I got it. And when you pull that up, it does push the tip of this out just a little bit. And again, just not quite far enough for you to really get a good grip on it. There is a groove right there past the tip, and it just doesn't come out as far as you'd like right off the bat. You can't see that little groove right there. You can't quite get your fingernails into it. Granted, I just cut my fingernails the other day, so that could be part of it too. But you pull it out like that, and then you can put it. He's got those little tabs here that you can put it into his hand and tab it into place. Close his fingers around it, and there's his gun. Very cool. You can flip this hand in. You actually can flip either hand in, but the hand folds in over here, and you can attach the weapon / scanner / sensor, whatever you want it to be, to his arm. And when that's not in use, let's go ahead and flip his hand back out. We're going to need that in a minute. Come on, hand. There. Well, somehow his hand has decided to get stuck in there. Nice. Nice. Thank you. So, yeah. And then you can store it. Here's the top part of it. The bottom part has a longer tab here, and you can plug it in right back here on the back of his waist to store it, which is also nice. Also, the range of movement in his arms, you can see there's like a hinge up here, it rotates here, swivel here, double hinged elbows, a swivel wrist, and then the same finger articulation on this hand as the other. But you can get him to do there's enough articulation for him to get his arm up, out, and all the way back and around to rotate so he can push his own eject button. That's very cool. And you can see the arm, it hinges on a lot of different places to make that happen. But that's really cool that he's able to do that. And again, you pop this open, you can take Condor or Laserbeak, whatever you want to call him, and put him in the tape deck. I think he's upside down there. I like to put the red on top. But yeah, and if you lean forward a little bit, he pops right out. Now this piece behind here can push back in to allow up to 2 other cassettes in here. You click it all the way back, and this makes you can see now my finger goes all the way in there. And it doesn't automatically to pop them out. There's a button here on his back. You push this down, and for each time you press it, it snaps forward a slot. So if you only had 2 cassettes in there, you don't have to snap it twice. But it has click, click, push it once, it'll pop another cassette out. Push it again, it'll pop another cassette out. And there you have it. So yeah, and there is some really nice actual inside of a tape deck detailing in here. There's the little spikes that go, the little gears that turn the tape, and some really neat detailing inside of his chest that you normally wouldn't even see. And they saw fit to include it. So again, some really nice stuff going on here. Let's take him. He's got a head swivel up and down. His legs. People were complaining about how his legs don't go far back; it only go about right there. Not really an issue I found. Bringing it forward a click is kind of rough. But he's got swivels at the thigh. He can swivel out like this. There is a hinge right there. That's for transformation. But he's got knees. He does have. It's more for transformation, but the transformation hinge here does allow him to have ankle tilts. So that's how you know it's a quality figure. So yeah, a lot of good range of movement. He does have a waist swivel. So you can get him in just about any pose you would want, really. And considering he's Soundwave, who really just kind of is nothing more than stand there and say, yes, Megatron, it's really more articulation than canonically he should have. So now on to Condor here. This guy is amazing. I don't know if I've said that already, but amazing. You can, there's a couple different ways to get his head out. I found that there's a little tab right here that if you're if you're good enough, you can kind of flip them up like that. You can get enough pressure on it. If that's not working, I find putting a little bit of pressure right here where the neck joint is bends it just enough that it uncatches anything that might be stuck up here and allows it to flip out. The easiest way to do it though, is right here in the middle of the cassette. Just put your thumb in there. You see that little rectangle of right here. You just put your thumb in there, push it up a little bit, and that'll start to pop his head out, and then it's really easy to flip it out. And now here you can see the hole in the middle where I pushed the piece out of. You just push that piece out, and that raises it up just enough that it's really easy to swing it out. But bring his head up forward and on the hinge, and then you want to take the feet here, the bottom of the peg, bring them down like this. You can go ahead and rotate them forward if you so desire. And then you start here, and these pieces you want to actually rotate up. There's a hinge here and a hinge here. Rotate it at the hinge here in the red piece first, up like that. And then up here, flip the fin up like this. Rotate here, and then rotate it at this hinge up here in the actual thruster itself onto his back. I think that gives you the best results and makes it the easiest. Because it does have to clear as you bring it around. It does have to clear. Come on now. The square edge, and that's the easiest way to get it to do it. And then once that's done, you just take the wing, flip it, take this piece under here, flip it up around the hinge so the Decepticon logos are on top, and then flip the wings back, and there you have a very, very awesome Laserbeak. I mean, just that guy's just amazing that they engineered all of that into Laserbeak in a cassette. No extra weapons, no extra pieces. There he is. And even more amazing is that he actually has his little head camera that flips up. I'm very, very impressed with Laserbeak. You can have him like this. If you want to, you can fold his feet back up to have him in kind of a flight mode without his legs down. You don't have to angle him up. You can have him sit like this so he sits up at a little bit of an angle. Very expressive, very posable, very neat figure. And he does have some grooves here in the bottom of his feet that the grooves up here on his shoulder, you can have him stand up here on, get it down straight. You can have him, you can plug him in very easily. He just tabs, kind of sits right in the grooves there on Soundwave's shoulder, and he's not going to fall off. He pegs in very well. So yeah, you can see that. And then, and also, he's got, they're hard to see, but I popped them off because they were on the shoulder. Soundwave has some clear tabs here on his forearm that, like I said, they're clear so they don't stick out too badly when he's not on there, but that allows you to clip Laserbeak onto his arm there as well. Let's fold his arm down a little bit like that. So yeah, you can have Laserbeak on his arm. Or Condor. Condor, Laserbeak, whatever you want to call him. So we're going to take this out for transformation anyway, so let's go ahead and remove that. So you can have him talking to Laserbeak. Laserbeak reports, Megatron. So yeah, very cool. And just for the sake of it, here he is. I'm not going to try to balance him or anything, but here's Laserbeak with Starscream. I'm tired of you always being Megatron's favorite. But yeah. So yeah, there is Condor. And we'll go ahead. I found transforming him back, I found for the wings, you want to fold them up like this first, and then while you're holding them in, flip these pieces down. It tends to lock them in place a little bit better. Although here it's, and then make sure to push all the way, like on the lower half of the Decepticon symbol, and that'll keep them from wiggling as much. You can see it's much more stable than it was just a second ago. These pieces don't flop around as much as long as you make sure the wing tips fold in tightly against the cassette body. And then again, fold these around. Again, it helps if you lift it. Fold it at the upper hinge first, and then around that square joint. And then fold in the fins. Bring the feet down and around. And then just flip the head back into place. Just like that. Looks like a folded up Condor on the bottom. and then a cassette tape on the other side. I just love this little guy. He's so awesome. So the gun, we'll go ahead and we'll smush it back into battery mode, and that's going to come around right here, and it's going to peg in right here onto Soundwave's back. Yeah, here we go. Here's the little button to operate the door. There's the sensor thing. So then we'll go ahead and take his shoulder cannon, rotate it around like this, and fold it down to his back. So the batteries don't actually go in the battery compartment, because that's one, it makes way. It's a little. It's here to make way for the gimmick in his chest, as well as that's where his head hides. So it doesn't actually go in the battery compartment. But when it's all said and done, you just flip his head back like that. These are actually really genius in the way they fit. They sit on the back. You don't really notice them. There's covers for them, which we'll get into. They don't cover this part, but anyway, yeah, we'll get into that. So the arms, and again, most of the stuff is more visible from the back. You want to go ahead and, just like when you attach the sensor piece, flip the hands in, straighten the arms, and then here on the back of the arms, you flip this up. There's a panel right here that flips up like that on the back of the arms, and again right here. And then when you rotate the arms back, that panel covers the top of the battery, so it's not visible from the top. It looks just like the top. Now you will see about that much of the battery when it's all said and done on the back, but that really isn't all that horrible, I don't think. That opens up the side here. The legs, you want to bring out like this. You want to take this panel, lift it up, take the foot, you rotate it here, you want to rotate it at the kneecap. You want to make sure that this gray piece, this gray hinge is facing up so you can fold it up like this. So rotate it at the knee joint after you flip these up. Then the foot, you actually fold around like this and fold down like this. And then it's going to tab in to this piece right here. There's a little tab on that. Just like that. Now there is on the foot a little hidden compartment, which, let me get it open here. There we go. A little hidden compartment here. And that apparently, according to the instructions we've seen, holds Frenzy/Rumble's shoulder weapons when you're using him as a cassette. That's really cool. And there may be a couple other places on here. Again, that's all showed in the cassette instructions. So if I'm missing one, it looks like there may be a panel here in the leg as well that opens up to hold, yeah, right in here, to hold some weapons, the cassette weapons that don't fold up like on Laserbeak. That's really ingenious that you can store all that on Soundwave when they're in cassette mode. So again, you do the same thing over here, bring the foot back and down and plug it into this piece back here. And then you fold it up here at the knee. There's a little release button right here on the leg. There's a little gray button. You want to push that, and that allows it to slide down, which then allows this to plug in properly up here. Should peg in. There we go. Snaps into place on a peg where the arm was. So again, same thing over here. Flip this up, push this button to slide it down, fold it up, and snap it into place. And you can see we're starting to take the shape of classic Soundwave. This piece right here, you want to rotate this piece, fold it up and under, rotate it again. Again, this piece, you can see there's the angle cuts here. You want to make sure to fold this down like this first and get it like that, so those two angle pieces meet. Otherwise, again, you're trying to fold squares around squares, and it's hard to do. Fold it all together, keep that all pegged together. And again, here's where the... oh, maybe that isn't storage in the foot, but here's where that little storage place was I was telling you about before that can store Frenzy and Rumble's weapons. Ends up here on the back of Soundwave. So yeah, pretty nice. And again, same thing over here. Bend this down and around past. Rotate that up. And there you've got the little port that Soundwave uses to hook into the computer when he's transferring data So thanks, Proto Man, for pointing that out to me. Fold this up right here, the little button piece. Take these gray pieces and fold them down like that. Open this up all the way like this. And then you take this, fold it down, and slide this whole piece up into the waist. The waist also should have slid forward, which usually I just pushed it forward. Transforming to remote mode, you want to push that waist forward. And then it all plugs together, and there is Soundwave in cassette box mode. Again, a little bit more obvious on the back, just because of the open space. I mean, it's mostly the open space down here. But from the front, nice, square, slightly thicker than usual, but Soundwave boombox. He does have some fake but sculpted like SD ports and audio ports and AV ports and stuff on it. He still has the moving knob over here, reverse, the rotating little volume knob over here, the right and left speakers, and all that. Very cool. And again, you can eject this. He can still hold 3 cassettes in tape deck mode, and again, you just 1, 2 to pop out the extra cassettes. Put Laserbeak in, and there he is, all done. Soundwave in alt mode. Yeah, I highly recommend this guy. Like I said, Soundwave by himself, again, he folds up into a square box. And some have argued, and I don't think they're necessarily even wrong, that really the true masterpiece Soundwave was the G1 version, because it's older and has such an elegant transformation that really pretty much captured his cartoon model very well. However, this does have the bonus of Laserbeak and the new cassettes, which are far superior to their G1 versions. And like I said, he's got a lot of neat little engineering bits that make him cool as well. But really, when it comes down to it, it's basically just some slightly more involved ways of doing what the G1 toy did, which is flip his arms around the back, fold his legs up, flip his head down, and he's a box. Like I said, the play and record and stop buttons are just molded, but the 2 fast forward and rewind buttons do have some springiness to them. You can push them and play with them like that. Again, you eject it. He's even got and it's even metal. But he's even got a metal little headphone port up here. I have not tried. Actually, you know what? Hold on, just a second. Let me grab a pair of headphones and see if you can actually plug a pair of headphones into him, regardless of whether they work or not. Because that would be pretty nifty. So headphone port, headphones. Holy crap! It's actually designed. You can plug a pair of headphones into him. Again, you won't get any sound, but he has a headphone jack that functions. Holy crap! That's even better. That's really awesome that they did it, and it feels just like you're plugging it into something that actually works. It snaps in, it slides in, and then snaps into place for the last little bit. It feels just like plugging it into a real phone or iPod or tape player or whatever. That's really kind of neat. But yeah, there he is, Masterpiece Soundwave. Check him out.